All right, this will be a 50-50 setup. So that's gonna be circuits, 5-minute circuits, 3 exercises, do 50 seconds of 1, 50 seconds of 2, 50 seconds of 3, then right back into the next one, 50, 50, 50. So you get through those 6 rounds, which is 5 minutes. Then you get a 50-second break, then move to the next circuit, 3 stations there. So you're just going straight through for the 5 minutes before you get that break. As far as equipment you'll need for this one, sliders will be good. There's gonna be some fallouts, so you might want a pad or a pillow for your knees as well. And then you'll need a bench, a couch, a chair, some object to lean on, and then a weight for our bent over row. So if you've got a dumbbell, kettlebell, that's great. Otherwise, milk jug or laundry detergent, anything like that. So we'll get started here in just a second. We're gonna have hand walk push up as the first one.
All right, guys, as Ben mentioned, we're gonna go through the ABC format, the 50-50. So we'll do hand walk with a push-up for 50 seconds to begin the series. These push-ups could be 1 to 5 reps when you get out there. So 1 to 5 push-ups in a row, and then take that hand walk back in. Stretch the hamstrings a bit. We're 25 seconds out of finishing this exercise, but we're going to go immediately into a valve slide lateral lunge. So in 15 seconds, grab a single disc. We'll stay on one leg for duration. We'll do that exercise as well for 50 seconds. So a bit different than our normal bComplete class. 5 seconds out. Grab that disc, put it under a single leg, go into that big lateral lunge or lateral squat. Stand tall. Most of the weight stays in that right leg. Your left leg is just kind of floating out there in space. You might feel a little bit of inside on that left leg, maybe a hamstring stretch and or a little groin, adductor. But the right leg is the workhorse in this setup here. 25 seconds in, 25 seconds out. Next thing's gonna be on your back. It's a suitcase crunch. Finish this leg and then about as quick as you can, you're on your back. 10 seconds out. Make sure the butt's going backwards on this exercise. The knee's not caving too far forward. There might be a little bit of knee bend, but it should be glute hamstring on your back here. Suitcase crunch. It looks like a penguin kind of heavy crunch and then swiveling side to side. Try to activate some obliques on both the left and right side as you go across the body.
I feel these from the first time.
Yeah. 30 seconds out. This may or may not be our second time recording this series, so you could probably feel the joy in the room. 20 seconds out. There's a few hard series in this one. We're excited to get the workout in this, as I know you guys are as well. 10 seconds. We'll roll over from the suitcase crunch into the hand walk with push-up. 5. So again, nice big hamstring stretch to initiate, out overhead, hit a push-up or 2, I would say up toward 5, but we're using this kind of to warm the body, prime the body for future exercises. Nice big stretch, take a breath there, walk back in, only to the push-up position. "20 seconds out. "15, and then as a reminder, after this, we'll go into the valve slide or the slider lateral lunge. 5 seconds, and then make sure you switch legs on this exercise. So whatever foot you used last time, let's make sure it's not the same this time. Grab it about as quickly as you can. Foot on the disc, remember, sit back into it. You can keep the arms tight to chest, or you might find more stability and more counterweight by extending the arms out away from the body. 30 seconds here. And float that right leg, the leg on the slider, float that out the best you can, really light in that foot. We still have 20 seconds here, and then we're gonna go into the suitcase crunch again. Big heavy crunch, swivel side to side. 15 seconds out. 10. 2. Good suitcase crunch to finish the series. And we're going to take 50 for a rest period. And we'll go on again for 5 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll end up with 7 5-minute series. So this will complete the first series. I'll jump into frame, if you will, and we'll have another 5-minute series. Ben and I will bounce back and forth through the 7. We'll finish with a few stretches as well. 15 seconds out. 10. 3, 2. Good, let's rest, grab some water. 50 seconds to recover. The 3 exercises for the next series is going to be skaters. It's not the mini skaters, so we are going to work on some lateral distance, so covering quite a bit of ground. We're also going to go into a push-up, but slow on the way up. So we'll drop under a normal speed and then press slowly, maybe 8 to 10 seconds on the way up. And the third thing is going to be a side plank with a hip drop. So 15 seconds. First thing is going to be skaters. Make sure you move any objects that are around you. If you have a tight space, turn it into more of a mini skater, so nice little pops side to side, not clearing too much distance.
And make sure you know your surface there too. If you're on hardwood floor, then you should have some shoes on, have some rubber. If you're on carpet, just know what kind of traction you've got going side to side. And start light with these. Don't try to cover a lot of distance on the first few, and just see how it's going to feel, see how much room you're going to need. But you're hopping side to side, sitting down into that one leg. And the goal is not to push off your back foot. So as you sit into that one side, the back toe does not come down to the floor. If you need a little extra help or a little extra balance, you can do that. But if you can, try to avoid that. Arms help you get into a good rhythm on this one too. 12 seconds to go. And then next one's gonna be those push-ups down on the floor where you're going slow on the way up. Last 5. So push-up position. These will be opposite from our eccentric ones. These are going to be slow on the way up, or the way down you can go faster. So everything stays connected, knees, hips, shoulders, everything stays in a good straight line as you're pushing up. And then once you get to the top, you can drop a little faster. So you're spending the majority of your time on the way up. 20 seconds to go. Gives you a chance to think about each segment of your body. When you're going that slow on the way up, you can think about how everything's moving and make sure one thing's not moving faster than the other. The last 10 seconds, and you're going to be going down into a side plank with a hip drop. So you'll stay right down on the floor. 4. And good. So with our side planks, you want that elbow right under the shoulder, so a good stable position for that down shoulder. Let those hips drop down to the floor, almost to the floor, then you're lifting them up, getting a little side crunch on that bottom side. You can have feet stacked. You can always go from your knees on this one, where that bottom knee is bent at 90. And it'll just shorten the lever a little bit. 20 seconds to go. Top hand can be on your hip, or it can be straight up in the air. Last 10, and then we're going back to those skaters. 3, 2, 1. Up to the feet. So real soft landing. Make sure you've got your same amount of space here. No animals or children have wandered into your landing zone. Very soft landing. There's really not even much impact or even much time spent in the air. So you can keep it really light with the impact, even lighter, where you sit softly into it. And it's more of a shuffle side to side rather than a big jump. So 20 seconds to go. And the deeper you sit into it on each side, the more you're gonna get quad and glute working on that side. So 10 seconds left, then you'll be down into those push-ups again. All right, good big breath or two, and then it's push-ups slow on the way up. And good breathing throughout. If they're slow enough, you'll need to get more than one breath for every single rep on these. And you can always go from your knees the entire time on these, just like with any of our other push-ups. If you find yourself going way too fast on them and you can't slow them down, it's definitely a better idea to go to the knees. 20 seconds to go. A lot of tension, you'll probably be shaking quite a bit. Last 10 seconds, if you're going slow enough, this one can be your last rep. And then we'll be down into that side plank after this. 4. All right, so you get into that other elbow, other shoulder. Feet can be stacked or bottom knee can be at 90 degrees. And again, feel strong on that left shoulder if you're down on that left elbow. We want to feel good there, not lots of tension, not shrugging up into the neck in that side plank position. Squeezing those obliques tight on the bottom side as you lift the hips. 20 seconds to go. Then you'll get that 50-second break. Ten seconds to go. 2, 1, and good. Rest for 50 here. And then we're going to be getting into our next circuit, the 3 stations here, an in-out squat jump. You're going to have bow slide, wide mountain climbers, and then a plank opposite reach. If I recall, this was my least favorite when we did these not too long ago, but I'll block that out of my memory here. So you'll need your sliders out for this one. And other than that, shouldn't need anything else. For these first ones, the in and out squat jumps, make sure your sliders are off to the side. Whenever you're doing any of your jumping stuff or lunging stuff, just make sure you know where your sliders are, just like when we're in the gym. We gotta be extra careful with that. You don't wanna land on the slider when you're not trying to land on the slider.
3, 2, here we go, guys. Nice wide squat, narrow tap, wide squat, narrow tap. That narrow tap is quite quick and quite light. Just a little toe tap in the middle, not even setting the full foot down, and then bounce back out. Ben has good knee control. If you watch his knees on the squat, they're not dipping in. They might be coming out of hair, but not excessive. Think about when we do band squat jumps, we have a lot of knee control there. 20 seconds out. As Ben mentioned, the next thing is that wide mountain climb with the discs. So we're gonna take the knees outside of the elbows. Having recently done the suitcase crunch, think about trying to find the same oblique activation. 3, 2.
Yeah, this was definitely my least favorite one.
Find the middle of the discs, middle toes. Pull those knees across the body.
Yeah, this is fun. I feel these and the suitcase crunches for sure.
You might think about trying to draw that hip bone towards the ribs, so a little bit of torso movement, kind of that side crunch as you pull that knee across the body. It's not super dynamic, it's more purposeful, so a knee pull utilizing some abs. 15 seconds out. And then we're in a plank position, so just stay put, drop the forearms, discard the discs, and we do plank with opposite arm and opposite leg. 5. Drop down that plank position, guys. If you can, right arm, left leg, yes. If that's too much in the core, the feet, the arms, whatever it might be, you could just do a simple lateral foot tap. Just one foot, one foot. A normal plank position works well, or just the arm reach overhead, or a kneeling plank even. So a lot of regressions built in here. 25 seconds out. We'll go back to our first exercise after this, which was the in-out squat jump. Try to do your best to control your breathing. Stay in control. 10 seconds. Then I want you to race Ben and see who can get the first squat jump in. 3.
You win. You already won.
That was as much motivational for you as it was for Ben.
Tag team. Kyle, you come in and do the second half of this one.
There's a good demo. If we take a side view of Ben, he'll face toward the mirror, sitting back in the hips, load the glutes, load the hams. You can see that light toe tap in the middle position, then bounce out, squat, bounce out, squat. That's a good tempo there. Again, try to control the breathing. 20 seconds out, and then we're into the wide mountain climber again. Ten seconds. 3, 2. Good. Get your discs, toes in the middle. Push up position. Focus on the oblique, drag that torso, pull the knee, not too fast. It's less of a mountain climber drill than it is a ab exercise, so nice control throughout. 15 seconds to go. On the back side of this, we'll fall into the plank position and do the plank with opposite arm and opposite leg. 5 seconds. Remember guys, a lot of regressions built in. Could be a lateral tap, could be just the arm reach, could be a static plank, could be a kneeling plank, but some sort of plank position for the next 35 seconds. Your next series of 3, you're gonna need a larger weight for a bent over row, just one. So grab a gallon of milk, laundry detergent, something on your rest period coming up. 15 seconds out. You'll also want something for your hand to be on for a little bit of support. 10. 2. Resting for 50. We're going to have a bent over row, a valve slide fall out, which is similar to a wheel roll out. I'm going to go from a kneeling position. I'm going to demo a couple from my toes and show you how you can integrate it from toes to knees. And then we have split squat jumps, which everybody's favorite.
It's going to wear us out a little bit, but we'll get after it and we'll hold on for dear life. Karen, if you're watching this, I just waved at you, but you didn't see me. But hi, Karen. All right, guys. First thing, 5 seconds out, single arm, dumbbell, bent over row.
So get in that good hip hinge position. You got one hand up on that bench or table or chair. Keep the weight distributed. There is a bit of weight in that up arm and that up hand, and then also in the legs. Good flat back. And tempo can depend on how heavy that weight is and how you're feeling with it. If it's a little bit light for you, you can keep that faster speed like Kyle's doing there. If you do have a heavier object, you can slow things down. Pause a little at the top. 18 seconds to go. And then you'll be going into those valve slide fallouts next. So you want your sliders and potentially a pillow here. 5 seconds. 2, 1. So you'll be down on your knees for this. Again, if you want a towel, pillow, something, that's fine. Otherwise, just on the floor. Before you start sliding out, you're getting to that crunch position. You're really bracing those abs as tight as you can, and then you're reaching out very slowly. So think about it as an eccentric movement. Everything tight. You can keep your butt tight. When you get down to the floor, just slide the hands back, make it an easy push up from your knees to get back up. We're not trying to make that difficult. If you want a really good challenge, go from your toes. This one, not many people will be able to pull this one off, but give it a try. Then you can drop to your knees if you need to. But make sure your low back's feeling okay. Don't try that progression unless you feel really good with the other ones. So 5 seconds left. And then you're going to be going to that split squat jump next. So up to your feet. And you keep this continuous rhythm here to make it more challenging. Get that back knee down low to the floor too. And just like with all of our jumps, these are really light. There's not much impact at all on these. It's just a quick little shuffle with your feet and then into that other lunge. You get the opposite arm and leg moving together like any other of our running base drills. A lot of breathing on this one. You'll get a good burn in the quads and the butt. 15 to go. And you can always shallow these up a little bit or slow your tempo down a little if you need to regress them. 5 seconds and you'll be back to that bench or chair doing those single arm rows. And so consistent breathing on these two, coming out of those split squat jumps. You're not going to be able to catch your breath, so you want to try to get into a rhythm. Pushing the chest forward as you pull that shoulder back. So it's not just about how high you can get the elbow on that arm, it's more about pulling that whole shoulder up towards the ceiling. 20 seconds to go, and then we'll be back to those fallouts from your knees. Last 10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So back down to your knees, bracing those abs nice and tight, and just that slow descent. So this is another one you're not trying to get a lot of reps in. It'd be better just to go slower, get a couple good ones in. But tension in your abs. If you're feeling a lot in your low back, you've got to focus more on keeping your abs tight. And if nothing's helping here, then you can always go down to a regular plank position from your knees or your toes. 15 left, and then you'll finish out with those split squat jumps. Five. All right, last 50, then we'll take that break. You should get uncomfortable pretty quickly. Kyle does a much better job than I do getting low on these. That's definitely one way to make it more challenging, is to get that full depth, like a full lunge depth. And just consistent breathing. Popping up, soft landing back down, 25 to go. And then we'll get that 50-second break coming up next. $12 seconds left. Last little burnout, and then you'll get your break. 6, 2, 1, and good. Nice job, Kyle. Good job, everybody, too. So catch your breath on these. I'll go over to the next circuit. We'll have a push-up with shoulder tap here, so you'll need to be on the floor for that one. We're going to have a squat jump, a regular squat jump this time, and then a static dead bug, so laying on your back, a good core one. So we don't need any extra equipment here. If you have a towel or a mat that you're laying on for the dead bugs, or that you're kneeling on for your push-ups, you can grab that. But keep breathing, grab some water, and then we'll be starting out with the push-up plus shoulder tap.
All right, guys, 5 seconds out here. Don't mind me as I continue to catch my breath. No judgment either, because I'm sure you're breathing hard too. At least you should be. Ben's got a good demo. Kneeling is fine. Reach across to that shoulder. Core is braced. You might also think about just keeping some tension in the glutes, Should help keep the hips stable. 25 seconds out. And then Ben mentioned squat jumps are next. 15 seconds. 5. Good. Up on your feet, guys. Squat jumps here. Nice soft impact. Keep control of those knees. Kind of keep them in check. Make sure you're aware of where they're traveling when you land. Arm integration is good. If you want to make it harder, take the arms out. Arms across the chest. Arms on head. And just listen to the impact on the floor. Be light on the toes. Roll into the heels. Spring through the feet. 15 seconds out. After squat jumps, looks like we're going into a static dead bug. So you'll find yourself on your back, low back's planted into the floor. Here it is, guys, on your back. Arms and legs removed. Tight abs. Let the arms and legs extend away from the midline of the body. The further out you reach, the harder it should be to maintain that tension. If you need a little regression, the knees are going to bend. Everything will float back into the midline, kind of over belly button. Head can be planted down if it's going to irritate your neck. 20 seconds out, and then back into the push-up with shoulder tap. Ten. 3, 2. Good. Push up, shoulder tap here. Control the hips. Be mindful of where they are. Take that reach. And remember, kneeling's okay. If this is too much weight on one wrist or one shoulder, just go through a nice push up and keep the core braced, keep the glutes tight. 30 seconds out. $15 seconds. We'll go from the push-up, shoulder tap into those squat jumps. If you're too loud for your neighbors, just do some nice quick squats with maybe a calf raise at the top where you're not actually getting airborne. Or just be intentional and be silent. That's a good demo, not necessarily going airborne, but a calf raise at the top. Same sort of speed in the initiation, so sell out like you're gonna jump and then just don't leave the floor. It's good, guys. 20 seconds out. Don't bail out right now. Stay on it. Remember, the dead bug will finish this series, so another 10 seconds of jumps. Try to commit to it and then go to that dead bug for a bit of a recovery position, at least from a leg standpoint. 3, 2, good. Quickly on your back, sprawl out, hold tight. $25. $10. Hey guys, take 50 seconds to breathe. This was the hard series for me last time we filmed this.
It was hard just watching for me too, so.
Which was a mere, I don't know, 45 hours ago. It's good. It's good. Cheers. Drink something. So 3 movements. Forward and reverse lunge on one leg. Not too bad. Moving into lateral crawl. It's a little more legs. And that plank jack, you feel a lot of quads, at least I did, kind of on that landing. So we'll go single leg, forward, reverse lunge first. Make sure you have space. Look around. Body should be somewhat middle of the room. I'm going to start reverse. Take right leg back, right leg over top, land.
So we're getting both legs to work on this one. When you're in that reverse lunge, it's the front leg that's working. When you go to that forward lunge, it's the now front leg. And on that reverse lunge, you got a lot in the butt, the quads, the hamstring working. When you're in that forward lunge and you're pushing yourself backwards, you're gonna get a lot more in the quad on that one too. So 20 seconds to go. And just good tempo on this. Doesn't have to be super fast, but you're not trying to go really slow motion on these either. 10 seconds to go, and then you'll be into that lateral crawl. So you'll be down on hands and toes. 2, 1, and lateral crawl. So basically quadruped position, but you get the knees up. Opposite hand and foot moving together. And just good flat back throughout. Trying to keep them smooth steps. This one's definitely more about keeping it smooth versus going fast on this. And depending on how much space you've got, you can just do a couple steps right, a couple steps left, or if you've got a longer runway, you can go across the whole room. 20 seconds to go. So last 10, and then you're going into that plank jack, which will be down on the floor on the elbows and the toes. 5. All right, these ones, there's some different variations we can do depending on how you're feeling. So this would be the advanced version where you're keeping the hips up, and on these ones, it's better to keep the hips a little higher than your normal neutral position, just to anticipate a little bit of dip when you have that impact. You can also just do toe taps, lateral taps out to the side. So hold your plank and then tap. You could also go from your knees and do those lateral taps. You're not going to do the full jumping ones from your knees. That might hurt a little bit. But 18 seconds left, and keeping the tension on the core. If you feel on your back, definitely pull it back, go to one of those regressions. Last 10, and then you go back up to your feet for that forward reverse lunge. 3, 2, 1. All right, so other leg. And again, both legs do work on each one, just in a little different way. You get those arms and legs too into our running positions. And then consistent breathing on these. Second round's always a little bit harder than the first. "20 seconds left, then you're down to your last 2 in this circuit. Last 10. After this, you'll be back down into that lateral crawl, so down on hands, knees, and toes. 2, 1. So knees come up off the floor. A lot of weight in the upper body on this one will help take some of the tension off the legs. And then breathing throughout this, you're keeping good tension the whole time, so there's really not a perfect time to breathe in or out. Just try to breathe consistently. 25 seconds. Shoulders got a lot of weight on them. Your quads are going to be engaged. Core the whole time is staying tight. 18 to go. And then you'll be in the plank jacks to finish this one out. Last 10. Nice work, Kyle. 5. All right, this last round of the plank jacks, don't hesitate to pull it back a little bit. If you're feeling lots in your low back, don't try to do these hops here. You're just going to put more pressure in there. And as you get fatigued, that's more likely to happen. So if you're feeling good, stick to the regular setup here. But don't hesitate to go to that lateral tap or just a kneeling lateral tap, or a regular plank, just holding it tight. 20 seconds left, then you'll get that 50-second break, and then we'll go into our last circuit here. 15 to go. Keep breathing, keep breathing. 8, 3, 2, 1, and got it. Done. Nice work. All right. Next one, we're gonna have a curtsy lunge to start out. We'll have a single leg V up, which will be on your back. And then a high plank opposite reach. So we've got 2 core ones that'll be down most on the floor. Curtsy lunge will be up on your feet. Shouldn't need any equipment for this one. And we'll finish this out, and then we'll get a stretching circuit after that. So almost done. We're all almost done. We'll go in 7 seconds, starting out with that curtsy lunge.
2. All right, guys, good front on view here from Ben as he does this curtsy lunge. You can see his leg in motion is coming back behind the other Achilles or heel, putting a bit of a shear force in that left glute. So it should be a lot of left glute, a lot of control. Left leg being the main mover here. Another view from the side. The knee's not drifting too far away from the heel and Achilles. It's coming down somewhat tight, but also crisscross. 15 seconds out. On the back of this, it'll be a single leg V up. We would likely alternate legs, one right, one left, one right, one left. You can go about it how you'd like, but Ben's going to alternate legs. Ben's going to start with a pretty aggressive demo, coming up quite high. This being more of a sit-up position or posture at the top. If that feels a bit crazy, he's got another demo here of more of a crunch variation. Not that one, but this one. So leaving that low back flat on the floor. Same movement. If you're long-limbed, you can always crimp the knee at 90 degrees. As you come up, keep the knee bent, keep the knee bent. But single leg V-ups in an alternating pattern. Last thing of this 3-part series is a high plank, opposite arm, opposite leg reach. This is similar to our 3rd series when we did plank with opposites, but we're gonna go from that push-up position and kick out opposite arm, opposite leg. High plank, same regressions kind of qualify or are available. If you need to, just the foot tap, or just the arm reach, or just a high static position there, big push-up base. If you're intentional for 50 seconds in that push-up and you keep the core nice and tight, glutes tight, that'll get hard. 25 seconds. We'll go back to curtsy lunge, switching legs. Be very deliberate on that movement. 15 seconds. Think about your favorite beverage here on your back, kid-friendly or not. Keep those hips from tipping sideways. Anticipate the load coming, prep for it, transfer weight. 3, 2, on your feet. Curtsy lunge.
I didn't spill a drop of that wine cooler. Strawberry daiquiri. That's it.
I'd be more concerned if it was whiskey. It's a good demo here, guys. When you stand tall, you are tall. That knee comes up, toe comes up. Nice tall posture. Be as stable as you can. You can see that knee's coming behind Achilles and heel. Should be quite a bit of right glute, right ham. 15 seconds out, and be as light as you can on that back foot. It is a lunge, but if you can be lighter in that back foot, just set it down softly. 10 seconds, and back into the single leg V-ups. If you did not alternate sides, let's make sure you do so now. Switching sides. Otherwise, back in the same pattern. Could be more of a sit-up with the torso, or it could just be that small crunch, whichever one you like. Knee could be bent, leg could be long. 40 seconds out. Could hold a child in your arms and swing them around. I don't know. Depends how big they are. 25 seconds. 15. 5. Last thing of the day, aside from stretching, high plank, opposite arm, opposite leg. And again, if it's just a push-up hold, go into that push-up position, hold on tight, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads. I'm sure quads are a little warm. Get the core active. If you are going to do that movement, think about trying to keep the hips stable. Transfer the weight slowly, pull the limbs off the ground. Breathe it as you can. Keep the shoulders depressed away from ears, so keep those lats kind of snug. It's a good demo. 20 seconds out here. 15 seconds. 10. 3, 2. Good. Take a second to breathe, guys. We're gonna reset the clock quickly.
You want to stretch?
Okay. I don't care.
What does it start with?
I think it's sideline 99.
Alright.
10 seconds out on your side. Sideline 90-90 stretch. Top leg is up pretty high, close to hip height. You can tuck it under that bottom leg if you're able to. If you need to, take a second here, pause the video, get that position first, then resume. His left leg is over top, under the right leg. Right leg kind of keeps anchored down. Go from a hand match position, sprawl out into that T. Trying to keep the hips pretty stable, so it's more of a thoracic or mid-back drill. A lot of rib cage movement. 20 seconds out, and then we'll take a 10-second rest as we switch sides. And again, pause the video if you need to. 10 seconds. 5. Got 10 seconds of air. Switching sides here. You'll see that Ben has his knee elevated a little bit off the ground. If you're tight, that can kind of help you go through a little more range of motion. It's not cheating necessarily, it just gives you a bit of a leeway, I guess, to get more range of motion through that exercise. But feel the chest open. Try to keep that knee static. You could have somebody hold that knee down if you wanted to. 20 seconds out still. Our next one's going to be a self-assisted figure 4 stretch. So it'll be on our backs. 3, 2. Figure 4 position, 1 foot over top of the knee. Ben's going to demo first by grabbing his hamstring. So the leg that is out front, you're going to reach both hands behind that hamstring. Kind of hold on tight. If that's not a big stretch for you, feel free to re-grip on the front of the shin just below knee. Set the shoulders down, relax the body, pull in a little bit, get that stretch, but also you're in a recovery position, so make sure you breathe here. It's not a very aggressive row. You're pulling, yes, but you're also relaxed. So just a little bit of tension to assist. After this side, we'll take 10 seconds to rest, and then we're gonna go ahead and switch sides. The same movement, or same stretch here. 15 seconds. 5. 4. Breathe, switch legs, 1 foot over top of the knee. Remember that hamstring's going to give us a little more range of motion if you're restricted, whether it's a limb length or just body mechanics. Alternatively, grab the front of the knee, draw in towards chest. 1 stretch left after this. It's going to be that cat-cow So we'll go from a quadruped position, a lot of rib cage movement, a lot of hip movement. 25 seconds, control your breathing here, try to get the heart rate down. Ten seconds. 5. Good, roll over. Cat-cow to finish. We're going to do one set of 50 seconds here. Let that back drop, let the back round. Use the abs to draw the rib cage down. Open back up. You might even find a little bit of a lat tension there to kind of assist in that movement. Careful on the neck as we look up, but yes, open the chest. 25 seconds. We're going to do one set of these together, but if you guys want to continue through another set or two, go ahead on your own. 15 seconds out. 10.